we go. All right. I guess we can go ahead and kick it off. I'm sure we'll have more folks joining us here as we get going. But anyway, so everyone, thank you for joining us for the November. And, we've kind of moved up the schedule a little bit. Normally, this would have been on, I guess, the last Thursday of each month. But we moved it up to celebrate the birthday for the Go language. So anyway, just want to take a moment to welcome everybody on behalf of the steering committee, myself, Paul Balog, and then we've got Michael Madden, who's not able to join us, and Brandon Hunter, who's finally joined us. It's been a while. You were about to get the boot. But anyway, Suju John, who's unfortunately hasn't joined us either. And then we have our emeritus member, Sabri Blackman, and I don't think he's on. I don't know. I haven't seen him in a while. I need to catch up with him. So anyway, thank you everybody for joining. And, we are part of GoBridge. So thanking them for actually providing the, all the meetup fees as well as the Zoom account. So thank you to them. And as such, please do keep in mind the code of conduct for GoBridge. Basically, just be excellent to each other, and then we'll all be good. So just as a reminder, we've got the St. Louis stlgo.org domain. So we do have some shortcuts there to get to the meetup as well as to the YouTube channel. This will also be on, I'll push it up to the YouTube channel after. I haven't really messed around with this live streaming yet. So yeah, so we'll just wait. We'll table that for another day. So, all right. So why we're all here, happy birthday to Go. So 12 years now. Again, just going through some of the other things. This came up last month. But GoBridge now officially has the mentoring platform with exorcism.org. So that's all cool and stuff. So definitely get yourself set up on there, become a mentor or become a mentee. Go through some of the exercises and then keep the language going, keep learning. That's all we got to do. Now, coming up too, I forgot to mention this last time, but GopherCon 21 is coming up in December. It's going to be a completely virtual event, GopherCon 2.0. The community ticket is free, so you can actually just register and then attend all the sessions and all that, but workshops are available, and those are roughly around $295, $495, I think, right around in there. So definitely.
The community ticket's free this year.
Yes.
Because it was like 500 something last year.
I think it was 100.
Okay, maybe I was looking at the original prices. I just remember.
Could be. Yeah, I think they had it was 100, and then it would be, I think the following year that would cover as well, something like that. Okay. But then they also had the workshops too, which are always extra. So
I attended last year, but I got a donated ticket. So I was actually unemployed at the time. So yeah,
that works out,
right? Yeah, no, it's very good. I recommend it if you've never attended it. They do it very well virtually too, through Discord and everything.
Yeah, definitely. And then I was looking at it, I think this year it's sponsored by Microsoft, and I'm failing to recall the other sponsor again that are covering all the fees, and that's why it'll be totally free this year. Definitely something good to check out. And that's all I had as far as announcements and everything. Did anybody have any questions or kind of interest to discuss before we get into the main topic? All right. Well, hearing none then, we'll move on. We've got a tight schedule here. So anyway, I'd just like to go ahead and take this moment to welcome Miriah Peterson. And then again, really appreciate you volunteering to speak to us. And hey, I love that you have a green screen background like myself.
Yours appears to be walls, not an actual
Yes.
screen.
Mine's a bit permanent. Yeah. Mine's just because I like the Seahawks. So Seahawks green. So.
Oof.
Hey, we don't have a football team here in St. Louis anymore. So
no, but they were their biggest rivals.
Well, but see, I'm originally from Seattle, so
Okay.
I've been a Seahawks fan since 1976.
All right, that's fair. That's fair.
Since when did NFL teams mean regionalism? Like NFL's the worst as far as regionalism goes.
I don't watch it anymore. Ever since they left, I watched every play for 10 years when they won like 3 games, but I haven't watched it since.
That's funny. Now, Miriah, you're out in Utah, right?
Yes.
So you must be a Seahawks fan then, if for football, no? Or
I don't follow. I pretty much just have one rule, and that's root against Tom Brady.
Good rule.
The GOAT.
He's a great, phenomenal player, but he doesn't need a 7th champion. He doesn't need to win anymore.
Right?
He's won enough.
Exactly. That's yes. I couldn't agree more. Yeah. No,
She did enough too.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Well, here, let me stop my share, so then that way then you can go ahead and grab the share. So you should be able to take control. There we go.
Yeah, and you should see my whole desktop. So yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for having me. It's been a while since I spoke, and I think the last time I spoke was in June for the Singapore meetup, and that was at 10 p.m. my time. A little bit less convenient than this, but it'll work.
Yeah. Our last month's speaker was speaking to us from Krakow, Poland. So yeah,
he was late.
Yeah. I think it was like 1 a.m. for him.
That's unfortunate. I've spoken at the Poland meetup, but again, that was 10 a.m. So on Thanksgiving. Interesting situation that was. But
we did have that talk, didn't we, about Thanksgiving?
Yeah. November and December are always hard meetup months. I know. I've run meetups myself, so.
Until last year, well, I guess the year before when we did the 10th anniversary celebration, we hadn't done November or December.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll just dive into the talk. It's about basically my experiences using Go. Oh, I forgot to take the Rust part out of there. I don't do Rust on Twitch anymore. Yeah, so unlike Paul, I do live stream quite a bit. Just to know me, you can find me as SoyPete on Twitch. I stream every Fridays, all Go. Every once in a while I'll try to do some Rust, just because why not? But usually I don't have any need for it, so I just stick with Go. I'm an organizer of the GoWest Conference. That's a conference here out of Utah. It is virtual as well. We did it hybrid this year, so we had a limited capacity in-person conference as well as a full virtual conference. And you can check out that website. We'll have it again next year, and we have some really cool shirts. If you see any new gophers on my slides, it's because of my conference. I have 2 dogs that are not here. I shipped them off to Grandma's house so they wouldn't interrupt me. And you can follow me on Twitter for any updates, or, all of the slides and the code are on my GitHub. So everything we'll talk about today will be on GitHub, in addition to the slides that I pushed up to GitHub, 15 minutes ago. So everything should be there and good to go. So I just kind of want to set the stage for how this project came about. Why didn't the button click work? Come on, button click. There we go. So I'm a part of a nonprofit called the Forge Foundation, and we sponsor or put on hold several meetups. We've had up to 7. A lot of organizers kind of disappeared when meetups went remote, but we have quite a few. And as we were trying to revamp our website and figure out how to get more people to show up to meetups, I was trying to just kind of auto import all of the meetups from the Forge Utah Pro page into a nice little format that we could upload onto like a static site or just something really simple. But meetup, I've tried for years now to get OAuth access to meetup site, but they have refused continually to give me API access. They won't give me OAuth credentials. They won't do anything. So they won't let me pull any information from their API, even though we have a pro page. I am an administrator on the pro page, and I should have access to all of my pro page information. If we're giving them money, they should give me access to their API. So like any good developer, I decided that I didn't need them and I could just hack it. I could just figure out my own solution behind the doors, behind their back, and figure out a way to just get all of the relevant information off of the web page that was already public. So I went ahead and strapped in, got ready, and decided to build myself a little web scraper tool that would pull all the information off the site, at least the live information, right, off the site. And I also decided why not do it while live streaming on Twitch? Like, it would be fun. Everybody wants to build a web scraper. So that's what we did. Just went ahead, said, I'm going to build a web scraper. It should be everybody's first projects. It's really not. A lot of people actually, like my VP of engineering at Weave, where I work, continually would message me, DM me while I was on my streams about building a web scraper and how we could apply that in the business. So it's clearly not on people's minds, even though it's a pretty basic JavaScript project. I feel like everybody does as part of their bootcamp stuff. But so yeah, even though it's not your typical choice, I decided to go ahead and build it using Go. There are libraries in Go for parsing the DOM and extracting information. I have an example right here of a web scraper I built a while ago that will pull information off of the Utah air quality site, so you know whether or not to drive to work based on the inversion or the amount of smog in the area. So there's a lot of tools for doing it in Go. There's no reason not to. We're gonna skip that. Oh, this slide. I figured we could pull a live cycles on a live meetup information on a cadence, and I could store them just in Firestore. If you're not familiar with it, it's almost identical to MongoDB. It's just Google owns it instead of being its own company. It's basically free. And I have all of the relevant information. Whoa, who messed up my...
Is that like a successor to Firebase, or is that just another?
Firestore is just the document store built. It is on the Firebase platform.
Okay.
Right, so it is on that. We need to fix this formatting on this code. That's no fun. Because you can't see my code. Look, if I go over, somebody messed with that, and now you don't see it. That's bad. I just have to recompile Markdown into HTML. It'll take me 3 seconds because you need to be able to see all of the important information. I'm so sorry.
No
I
problem.
tested the demo. The demo worked. The slides just didn't work. Crawler code. Where was that? That looks good. This one. Is that fixed yet? Okay, and then this one needed to be fixed. Web scraper. And then it's very finicky about how I set up, there we go. Set up the JSON and how I export it. Where is my stuff for that? It's right there. It should be right there. And now I don't want Copilot to predict stuff for me now. There we go. This should work. That should fix everything. Okay. Command Shift P. You're still seeing the bad slides. I apologize. This should fix it in just a second. Replace. And then open a new one. Let's go. No, it still doesn't show the dang code. Oh well. I'll show you. That code doesn't matter. I was going to do a demo of the code anyway, so let's not waste your time. Cool. So yeah, so it's just Firestore is a document store essentially. It does JSON. It's almost identical to Mongo. It is on Firebase. And if you want more information, I have all of the links here, including a talk given on the Go SDK from the Utah Go meetup. That's another reason it has a Go SDK, which is always a plus. Let's go forward. Things I wanted out of the web scraper, I wanted to be able to, like every Monday, pull the meetups that were coming up. Just a weekly update I felt like would be necessary. I wanted to be able to get the meetup name. I wanted to be able to get the talk description and the title. And I wanted the number of attendees. I wasn't able to get that as conveniently as I wanted, but I did want that there. And if I could, I'll just show you it here. Meetup Pro Forge Utah. So what I ended up doing was I just made an HTTP call essentially to this Forge Utah Pro page. And you may, or can you see the developer tools that pull up right here?
Yep. We see
it's
it.
Probably horrible. I don't know if I can actually make that super good. There we go. We'll kill this. We don't need you. And so somewhere over here, right at the very top of this, there was actually in the head, they had a bunch of metadata just sitting in JSON, which is what I had pulled out, that I was able to, I don't know if I can find it that easily, but it was right at the top. But essentially, what they had, oh yeah, just like stuff, not that particularly, but that looks really close to it. In one of these style things, see how they have nice little almost JSON-like structures right there? I was able to find a JSON object that just lived right in the top of one of these style things, these style sections. Oh yeah, it was like right under here. And it had the title, it had the description, and it had a good chunk of everything I wanted. That's actually not what I want. There it is. See, look, I found the JSON. See, like we have right here, we can see we have the Forge meetup information right here, and they have some JSON right there. And this one also is another chunk of JSON. And it has the next meetup that's coming up. It has the title, it has the description, which nobody's filled out yet. It has the exact location where it's going to take place. They did not have virtual codes. That was not part of their location stuff. They had the organization that was sponsoring it and the meetup page. So I figured I didn't need to actually navigate the DOM and find the elements because I had this nice little almost pre-formatted information right at the top. So that's what I actually went ahead and pulled out. And that, unfortunately, is what we were missing from that last, right here. What was at the bottom of this was just that little section showing how we had that nice formatted JSON that showed everything in a way that was very easily, it's really easy to use JSON and Go, right? You just throw it as a struct and you can pull everything out of it. Very easy manipulation. So I figured, why make it harder than it has to be? I could just do easy string manipulation, pull this JSON out, and then store it on almost the exact same format. So that's what we ended up doing. But the number of attendees was not right there. That's something that they load in separately. So I did not do that just for ease and quickness. So that's not there. So what I end up doing in the code is we call that Forge meetup address, we pull the JSON out, and then I basically format that into a Firestore object and just make an API call to push it back up into Firestore. So I'll have to show you the code now so you can have a nice little look at what we ended up doing. So this is actually the code right there. So we just make a GET request to the Pro Meetup page. Notice how I add cookies. That's just so that it thinks it's a browser. It doesn't have to be anything there. It just will recognize it as a browser. We're going to parse out the JSON, make sure it is a good status, and then we just basically return the body to get parsed. The meetup parser is right here. We're just putting it into JSON, doing a quick string split after a script type. And then we have our Firebase client, which will, it just calls the collection. You can see we make a new document with the date that we're storing the event. So basically that's how it's nested. It's date, collection, and then we have a slice of all of the meetups that are just basically stored after every date. So it's a pretty simple program. It wasn't that hard to set up and get working, and it runs pretty well. We do have it running through it was not originally running through an API call, but right now it is. So I basically have, when I do go run, it's going to set up an API that's just always listening. And this is the reason we did this. We'll get to later. It's for the deployment step, but I can show you how it works. So it just listens on that port, and I can just run a curl to the crawl endpoint. Really simple, nothing fancy. And it pulls down the credentials that I have stored locally. It says I have one meetup coming in the next, I think it goes up to 5 weeks. And I think I do only have one meetup scheduled for the next 5 weeks because I don't have any more. And then it just lets me know it stored them, saved them in the Firestore backend so that they can be accessed later. It's pretty simple, not hard. Great little fun web scraper tool. So now next step was I needed to be able to run it on a schedule, right? Like I do not want to get on my computer and run it once every week. We're software engineers are supposed to automate everything anyway. Like that's the whole point of our job. Like if we're not automating things, we're doing it wrong. So I was trying to do everything for free. I was already on Firestore, so it made sense to just kind of stick with GCP and just figure out how I could, and they also give you those free credits when you sign up. So just figure out how I could run a job once a week without like incurring any big bills. I didn't want to get surprised with a big side project bill, you know, you hear the $2,000 is not what a bill I wanted to see one morning. So I started looking around options on Google Cloud. App Engine CrowdJob was the first one that came up. Cloud Functions with the scheduler was the second option that came up. Both of these support Go. And then the last one was Cloud Run with the scheduler. So basically Cloud Functions, right? Functions as a service. You have an endpoint. The scheduler keeps track of the time, and then on the schedule, it hits the endpoint. But Cloud Run is different because it uses a Docker container, right? So essentially, you could do any language, any setup you want, as long as it's pre-configured into a Docker image, you could upload that to run and just have an endpoint that gets triggered on the schedule. And so I went ahead. Oh, you can also do cron jobs on Kubernetes on GKE. I've done that for work, and that was too much work for a little web crawler. So we went ahead, we just stuck with the Cloud Run. Oh, there goes my camera. Stuck with the Cloud Run. And so I had to figure out a little bit more than I usually don't do as much Docker or deployment stuff at work. A lot of that's automated with internal tooling that has all of the configs and all the magics for you. So I had to create a Docker image and use the gcloud tool, which is not written in Go. Gcloud's a Python CLI, so that's really big and heavy. But yeah, it's just, I was able to just create a simple Docker image that took my app files. So, well, it took all of my code files with the Go mod, download all the dependencies, make sure to get the Firestore permissions, because the IAM permissions for Firestore are not fun because it's technically a different project. It's kind of a funny thing. I'll get into that later. Build the web scraper and then have the command that would run it. Right now, it's just the server, just an HTTP server that would be able to run with those endpoints. So just having that command right there that could run and have the server worked out pretty well. I had to get the Docker image onto the Google Cloud Registry. This is the only thing that costs me any money. It does cost money to store your Docker images on the Google Cloud Registry, but it's the easiest way to get it onto Cloud Run. And I think since May, so almost 6 months that I've had it up there, it's cost me about $3. So I don't feel like it's not too expensive of a side project to store the images on there that I've been iterating and working up on there. And I just ran that CLI command to upload it on there. You can do everything on the console, but I felt like the CLI commands were a lot more convenient to use, and I could just run them in succession in a little script. Next thing, you have to take your image and add it to the Cloud Run instance, right? Basically, you're building a little Cloud Run container. I don't know what's a better word than container, that will take that Cloud Run image and run it for you. I didn't need to manage it myself, so I just left it platform managed. I don't need any permissions, any special permissions. I'm not exposing anything to the public. If it's not on my Google Cloud project already, it doesn't have access to my endpoint. So there wasn't any need for special configurations. I had to, this is the endpoint code that I have living in main.go, right? It has the crawl endpoint, it's on port 8080. I also added a health endpoint that just returns a hello world style thing. So I could hit it without any consequences and make sure it was live. Great for debugging. Also good to test liveliness or any other weird stuff. And then last step was creating that schedule. Now this took me a minute to figure out because service accounts. If you are like me and you don't do a whole lot of SRE work in your day job, you're not as familiar with these as somebody who manages permissions all the time. So I probably created 4 or 5 different IAM permissions and kept moving them around, trying to figure out what they need. Well, I created 4 or 5 different accounts, and I kept rotating the permissions that they need to try and figure it out. But it ended up, I was able to, the web crawler scheduler is the Cloud Run project, right? So I ended up just being able to give the scheduler access to that project, doing this, and that worked out no. Meetup crawler store is the project, and then the web crawler scheduler is the actual Cloud Run instance name, right? So that would be a service name type thing. Worked pretty well. And yeah, that it runs essentially. It hasn't stopped running since I had it up. Let's see. I can pull that console up. I did not have this. This preset up because I didn't even think about it until now. But I'll pull that up and I can show you the historical records and all the stuff that I have set up there. Nope, that's not the right one. There we go. Come on. Right there. Nope, yep, there you go. Yeah. So just the Meetup crawler store is my project. Right here, you can see Firestore. We just have our data. You can access this through the Firebase console as well as through the G-Cloud console. As you can see, the last one run yesterday. Well, actually, this one was today because I just ran it. This one was on Monday. But it should have events, and then it has, a Utah Gopher. Oh, yep, that is ours. And then it has it twice for some reason. But this is the description, the upcoming speakers, cancel, the title of the event. If we go back to this one, we'd have the October Go meetup, which was, this is Women Who Go. That's the Utah Women Who Go. This one is the Utah Gophers. Before we updated the title. Again, Women Who Go, looks like it's duplicating it. So I have a lot of fun there. And then, yeah, the other thing you have the container registry with all our images, Cloud Run, and the scheduler that just has the one. It should just have the one. Yeah, the web crawler run. Oh, that's probably why. I have it running twice. That last time it ran, see, this one runs at 2:30 a.m. and this one ran at 7. I have it running twice. That's why I have 2 sets everywhere. Clearly, I was a little bit over ambitious. But yeah, it just runs. This one runs at 7 a.m. This one runs 7 a.m. Denver time versus 2 a.m. because it's 9:30 on UTC every Monday. It works out pretty quick, pretty slick, and I like it. I thought it was pretty easy, a great experience, and I got to do the whole thing in Go, which was the best part. So I did the question. Functions as a service is pretty common. It's really popular. Like coming from the data space where I've spent a lot of my time, a lot of reporting is done through functions as a service. And so I was asked, why not do cloud functions, right? They support Go. They run very similarly. You could use the scheduler. They can still connect to Firestore. They do basically everything I was doing before. One, I liked the Docker container. I liked the fact that I was able to upload only what I wanted to upload. It didn't have to be a single file. I think that Cloud Run does require your Go stuff to be a single file, as opposed to having the multiple files, right? You don't actually upload a compiled binary. You put your Go code in the function and the function manages that for you. And they're not free. Cloud Run was completely free you can run it, I think it's like 90 times or 100 times a month before you start incurring Cloud Run fees. And so since I was only running this once a week, I didn't feel a need to pay any money. So I felt like it was great for the side project. And it did everything I wanted to. I did find out though, just a side note, Cloud Run in beta right now does not require Docker containers. So you would be able to upload like the Go binary itself and run it in a Cloud Run instance without having that Docker behind it. But for me, Docker is just as easy. I don't know. I thought it was good. So yeah, and there's just some links to that. And yeah, I didn't want to use Cloud Functions so I could save some money and keep doing fun side projects. I don't want to spend my time trying to figure out how to scrap some cash together just to run a little web crawler. And yeah, so main things, all of the development I did on this is on YouTube right now. Like I did all of the live streaming on Twitch. So if you want to see any of my struggles of live coding, you can go watch them on YouTube. There's probably like, I don't know, 16 hours worth. Like I said, I struggled trying to figure out how to create service accounts that would accommodate the scheduler as well as Firestore. There were some Firestore admin permissions that I thought would work, but they didn't give me what I wanted. So I just ended up uploading. I just have downloaded credentials living in the Docker container that basically shouldn't be accessed by anyone. Nobody can access the container unless they're already on my project. And I am only storing public meetup data. So I wasn't too worried about security. It's a little side project. I wasn't too worried about best practices. I just kind of wanted it to work. I could not figure out for the life of me the best way to know if things were erroring or how to debug. The Google log console was great, but it's not a standard out, right? So I couldn't just fumpt print line, whatever I thought I wanted, right? It's just going to show you basic HTTP logs. So I would have had to have actually formatted that. And it took me a minute to figure, I'm used to exposing the endpoints in Docker, which I didn't need to do for this case. I actually had to like list I just had to have them I did have to expose them in Docker. So it took me a minute to figure out how to expose endpoints because I don't do Docker that much. But all of the working code is on GitHub, so you can go check that out if you ever want to have a script that just does web scraping and pull stuff down. So in summary, Go is still the best programming language. Why do Python or JavaScript to build a web scraper when you can do Go? Go is the best. And like, it wasn't that hard to just add a Docker container to the binary. And just like I don't know, I feel like I do everything containerized at work anyway. It didn't inhibit the automation or like the functions as a service to have everything inside of the Docker container. It still followed that same function as a service pattern with the scheduler. It was just all nice and compacted, and it worked out really well. So that's pretty much all I got. There's my links if you want to catch up with me. So if you got any questions, I'm happy to answer them. We can chat about whatever, but
that's cool.
45-minute talk. Well, I guess it was 40 since we started 5 minutes after.
No, thank you very much. No, that's fun. You know, and I noticed, so you said that you added that thing with the cookie to make it think that it was a browser doing the request. What was happening if you didn't have the cookie in there? If it didn't think you were a browser, was it changing the content type or something? Or
it didn't, like, it would still return, the HTML. It just didn't return all of the metadata.
Okay. Huh. Interesting.
Right. And I wanted like a lot of I didn't care about the headers or anything pretty much, but I did want it. I was able to get the JSON, and the format was different actually. But yeah, I was able to get that little JSON blob really easily just with that little spoof trick.
That's funny. That's interesting. Oh, that is cool. I don't know. Anybody have any questions? Oh,
It's pretty straightforward. And it was fun. It was a really fun project for the side.
yeah. I see in the chat there, Charo mentioned she's from the Philippines. Wow, it's 8 a.m. there. So good morning. Cheers. No,
More importantly, it gave me an opportunity for a Go pun. So,
yeah. Oh. All right. Well, no, that's cool though. I'll definitely have to check out the some of the your Twitches. So yeah, you might have to get the demonstrations on how to live stream correctly. So
live streaming's fun. It's really fun.
well, I keep wanting to do it, but then I think about it and it's like, I gotta research a little bit on it or something to get it all set up correctly, because otherwise I just know I'm gonna be trying to do it live and then I'm gonna have something screwed up and then it's just gonna be a mess. So it's like, yeah, just put it off.
Nah, it's hard to with meetups. With meetups, it's hard because there are a lot of people that like the verbal interaction, and when you do the live stream, you almost lose that. So you're like, now you want to do a video call and a live stream, and that's just too much.
Yeah, because I mean, I had set up like OBS and everything, and then that kind of like blew me away a little bit. It's like, okay,
OBS is great. OBS is great. It's scary the first time you look at it, but it's actually really intuitive. Like when you use it.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I guess I had to just sit there and then play around with it for long enough to see. So one of these days, So
no, OBS is great.
Pretty cool stuff with Discord these days. It's not live streaming, obviously, but
you can live stream on Discord.
Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot you can do streaming aside from screen sharing. Yeah, it's just
you can. So yes, but that would get you the audio channels, right? Like if you wanted to have or simulate the group call, you could do it on Discord and then live stream from there.
Yeah, you can join the voice channels and join the stream.
It is. Yeah. Discord is definitely the place to be right now.
Yeah, I have trouble convincing people of that. I have no idea why, if it's people that never use it. So
because we all use Slack for work and we're like, why have another one open?
Well, these are people that one of my friends in my fantasy baseball league, I couldn't get them on Discord for fantasy baseball because his company, Hershey's, has banned it because of a security risk, and they can't have it on their home network. What?
That's sad.
Yeah. Just security these days, I find, is more really just you know what, if we don't know what it is, we'll just ban it. And so someone gives us a good reason to enable it.
Discord's done a lot recently. I don't know. I think they're doing great.
Yeah, they are. Discord's top notch. I'm a Nitro subscriber, so.
Yeah, for work we have to use Microsoft Teams. Not a fan.
It's better than Zoom Chat, as Slack as your chat app. I like Zoom Video because you get all the cool background display options, but it's.
I know at one point we were talking about using Mattermost for chat, but don't know what happened there.
Not Christmas yet, but I'm rocking this anyway.
It's snowing. There you go.
It's snowing in Hogwarts.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, cool. Well, thank you so much, Miriah. So
You're welcome.
it sound like let's see.
Yeah, that's all my stuff.
All right. Yeah, and then I'll make sure to let's see. Yeah, I'll try to repeat some of those links too. And I put together little show notes that I throw into our GitHub repo.
Well, here,
So-
let me just, since I have the talk slides already like up, well, I need to update them. The old links are already there, so copy link address. That's just right there in the chat. So that has like 90% of the links.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that way then I can put that in there, and then we got our copies too. So let's see. Go ahead. Slide back here. And by the way, I love all the gophers that you had on your slides. The Bernie gopher, and then the
Thank you.
oh man, why am I blanking on his name? Bob, the
Bob
the
Ross?
Asian guy.
Bob Ross gopher.
Thank you.
Yeah, those are all conference stickers.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Where do we sign up for the community ticket? Oh.
Just go into gophercon.com, and then it was should just be right there to register.
Okay, I wasn't even like looking at it because I thought I was gonna have to pay for it this year, and I just like had a lot going on. And my company, I work for HBO Max now, by the way. They
congrats.
were a Go shop, and now they have banned Go, aside from what's existing,
What?
to only TypeScript. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They apparently had like a holy war with a bunch of developers that came over from Google like in the last couple of years. So, and the Google developers lost.
Interesting.
Because
But
more
yeah,
people
so-
know JavaScript. That was the final logic. And TypeScript was a compromise. So,
Boo.
Yeah,
Nope,
right.
The best programming language.
I think they partially hired me though because of my Go background, because I talked about it quite a bit. I feel like they want like someone who's going to stir the pot a little. Is the impression I got.
Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like Bill's Bill's workshop is the expensive one. All the others are $295. So
Of course, Bill's would be.
yeah. Yeah, I was just chatting with him earlier today. Actually, I'm because originally he was supposed to do the presentation for September. He was going to talk about his ultimate service walkthrough or whatever, and at the last minute he had to kind of cancel out on us. So I don't know. I'm hoping maybe he can do December, but I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, so anyway, I guess, yeah, please, anybody suggestions for topics, additional speakers, whatever, just let us know. Any kind of feedback, positive, negative, you don't like the host drinking beer or whatever. But anyway,
Part of the
please do.
fun of doing it remote.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to getting back in person now. But yeah, and then again, as we social distance, be sure to catch up on the STL Tech Slack and also the Gopher Slack. And I did not hear back from him, but oh, that's weird. Okay, there we go. John Arundel, the author for this book, he had thrown a message out on Twitter to everybody about making a copy of his book available for free, and I reached out to him, but I did not hear back yet. So I'm going to assume, I'm going to go with it that we have this copy available for a giveaway here. So yeah, I don't know. We've got a small number of folks here, so I'm going to say that the organizers and co-organizers, sorry, Brandon, are out of this one. And then Miriah, I don't know. I guess you could be in this. So we're down to,
I'm good.
I put
Okay.
very like no effort into organizing this though. So does that? I mean,
You can have mine.
so yeah, so I think we're down to 2. So,
pretty good odds.
yeah, exactly. It's a 50-50 shot. So
before we do that though, I would like to say I apologize. We ended up losing our IntelliJ licenses or JetBrains licenses, but it's because nobody was using them. I think out of the 10 we gave away, 2 people use them. So
they killed mine too.
Did they? I know with the Java meetup too. They were always having issues where people weren't actually taking advantage of those licenses, and it's like
I used 2 from that meetup. Like,
yeah, but no, it's such a bummer. But yeah, so I guess we lost. What was it? How many? It's like 6 licenses then.
I mean, they were giving us a license every month, but yeah, the problem is we gave them out, and I helped 2 people get set up with them, and Mike Madden, one of our other organizers, he used 2 of them as well. So I think we used a total of 3, but the 3 over 10 months doesn't meet their like you have to use 1 every 3 months requirement or something like that. So
yeah. Oh well. All right. Well, yeah. So we're gonna do this the real scientific way. I happen to have this little wooden chip here. Let me get the camera here from Oktoberfest. So we have this side, which is just text, and then we have this side, which is a logo. It's actually it's 2 beer steins clinking. So
nice.
So Charo, do you want to pick a side? And then I'm going to do the coin flip here. Let me get to the chat here too, where I can see if it's typed in there. Why am I not seeing it? Yeah, so if you want to pick, image or text, let's just say that. Text. All right, here we go. Here goes the flip. Oops, sorry. All right, and it is the text. So Charo, you're gonna get this book now. Hopefully, like I said, hopefully we're gonna actually get this for you. I didn't hear back from John, so I will make sure we get that info. So
is this a digital copy or is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's digital as far as I know. Yeah.
I was gonna say otherwise be prepared to ship to the Philippines, but
well, so now John is over in he's over in London, and he did mention, I did see on some other tweets of his that they were shipping them around. So I'm guessing global is all good. So so Charo, if I could get your email address, and I probably have it from the meetup. I'll be able to message you through the meetup. So then that way, then you don't have to have it kind of public there, your email address. Because I know Brandon, he's kind of bad with email spam. So we don't want to let him see your email address.
Right. I'm bad with email spam in that I don't check my email because I get too much spam.
That's right. All right. So congratulations. All right. So, and then I guess, in closing, our next official meeting would be then December 22nd. And again, since that's all the holidays and stuff, I'm going to try to maybe see if I can corner Bill into doing that talk from that we planned originally in September. And then we may move up the date, but, definitely keep an eye out on Twitter, or else just I'll send out an update whenever I create the event in Meetup. So should get notification. So hopefully we stick to the regular schedule. It'll be December 22nd.
What was Bill going to present on again?
He was doing, it was the ultimate service walkthrough.
Okay.
So he's
What
got
was-
this whole ultimate service thing that
Okay.
kind of a generic service that he has, and then we were going to walk through that.
That's right. I remember looking at that when I saw he was speaking.
Yeah.
And what was the one last month? I apologize.
Last month we had Bartolome. I know I
The
Bartolome.
Poland, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then that was specifically, oh man. See, now you're gonna make me look here because
All good.
I'm drawing
Did we
blank.
have anything on the mentor platform? Or was that just the GDN event? Or
That was the GDN event.
because I might be able to get Angelica, who I think helped present that today.
Mhm. Yeah, Angelica
to
helped.
give us a run through in our meetup over it or something.
Yeah, I'm sure she'd probably be available. But yeah,
She's always usually willing to speak about anything. So
yeah. I think she was doing the GDN talk on that one when they announced it. So yeah, so cool. All right, well then, that's all we got. Then that's all she wrote, as they say, and just shy of an hour now. So yeah. So again, Miriah, thank you again, and everybody, thank you for joining. And hopefully everybody stays safe. And someday look forward to seeing people in person again. So,
yeah, it'd be nice.
all right, and then we'll get the details out for all the info. So for the next one. So we'll see y'all later. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.